We're joined today by the CEO of Kazia Therapeutics, Dr. James Garner. James, you've recently had a big announcement to the ASX. You've announced a licensing agreement with Oasmia, a Swedish pharmaceutical company, for your drug Cantrixil. Can you tell us a little bit more about the deal?
Thanks, Tim. It's been exciting news for Kazia. Oasmia, as you've said, is a Swedish pharmaceutical company. They've got a commercial product in ovarian cancer, so they know this space really well. We've agreed to license to them worldwide rights to Cantrixil for all diseases, but obviously with a primary focus on ovarian cancer initially. In return, we receive $4 million as an immediate upfront payment. We have the potential to earn up to $42 million in milestones as the drug progresses through development and commercialization, and then royalties on net sales anywhere in the world. So we think this is really a fantastic deal for Cantrixil. We're really excited. It's just the perfect way to take the drug forward. It's the ideal partner, and it's a nice opportunity for Kazia to realize some value out of the program and reinvest in its broader pipeline.
Now, James, you mentioned that the transaction involved an immediate upfront payment of $4 million. What does Kazia plan to do with the money?
Tim, will be investing that money directly into the Paxalosib program. So Paxalosib, of course, is our other pipeline asset. Recently entered a pivotal study for brain cancer in the United States, and that'll be rolling out to Europe and China. And that really places the drug on a path to registration in the next few years. So we're very, very advanced with Paxalosib. There is some registration supporting work we'd like to do, just really kind of ticking boxes, dotting I's, crossing T's. And the proceeds of this transaction just help us to accelerate a little bit of that work and really get the Paxalosib story in very strong shape for commercialization.
James, Cantrixil has successfully completed a phase 1 clinical trial. What was the rationale behind partnering at this stage of development rather than waiting until later?
Yeah, Tim, this is always a balance. As our chairman noted recently, it's always delicate here. If you partner too early, you can sort of leave money and an opportunity on the table. If you partner too late, it means that as a company, we bear all the risk and cost of taking the drug forward. So we made a decision some time ago that we thought the right time for Cantrixil was to partner after completion of phase 1. We'd seen some great results in the phase 1 study. It really gave us a strong sense that the drug had something to play for. It really gave us a good hand to play in our discussions with other companies. But at the same time, taking the drug forward into the next stage of development, into phase 2, it is complex. Ovarian cancer is quite a different space to brain cancer. There's quite a lot of different subgroups of patients. There's quite a lot of existing therapies. We're seeing new therapies come along like PARP inhibitors, which potentially change the game even more. And so we thought that work belonged in the hands of a larger company. And of course, ideally a company that can offset it against income, which Oasmia is in the position of being able to do. So this is very much consistent with our strategy for Cantrixil. We just thought this was the right moment to pass the baton to another company.
Meanwhile, your lead program, Paxalosib, commenced the registration study in January. What should investors look out for during 2021?
Yeah, Tim, the Paxalosib program just continues to pick up pace. And as you say, in January, we started recruitment to the pivotal study for registration. We'll be seeing some operational milestones through this year, but probably not a huge amount of data out of that study just yet. But we do now have 7 other clinical trials going on with Paxalosib at various stages of activity, from startup to run out. So that will be generating a lot of data through the year. One caveat I always make to investors is not to get too hung up about precise dates. Clinical trials are inherently unpredictable and never more so than when they're run by the investigators. But what is absolutely certain is that we'll be seeing a lot of information coming out of those other studies over the course of this year and next. And each of those is a potential value driver for the program. Having said all that, I think it's also worth noting that we've really reached a stage in the game now where it's not just about data. I think this transaction with Cantrixil demonstrates that there are now potential commercial catalysts for Kazia that can also really generate value for the company and for its shareholders, and which can really change the path of the organization. So I'd also sort of add a rider to this that data is not the only thing that can move the needle now for us, and we'll be, as we're working more and more on the potential commercialization of Paxalicib, I think that also represents an opportunity for catalysts and news flow that can be every bit as impactful.
And James, with biotechs, investors like to know the company's cash position. Can you comment on that and the runway?
Well, as of 31st of December, we had 19.4 million Australian dollars at bank, which obviously is a nice, healthy bank balance for a company such as ours. We've learned the hard way to be a little bit hesitant about trying to put an exact runway to that, not least because the exact timing of clinical trial milestones and so on can be a little unpredictable. But we're certainly well funded through really the foreseeable future with that bank balance. One point of note that's of interest is that in our recent half-year report, independently audited, of course, there is no longer any emphasis of matter. Usually, like most small biotech companies, we contain a little note in our annual report that says that the ability of the organization to remain a going concern is uncertain. It seems like a statement of the obvious, really, for any pre-revenue company, and something that goes with the territory, really, for biotech companies such as ours. But our half-year report no longer carries that caveat, and I think that probably reflects a relatively strong financial position at this stage.